Hello.
Hi Shubham,
Hi.
how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good too. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
Okay, so I will be taking your interview today,
Okay.
L1 round, and just give me a minute. Yeah, Shubham, can you please tell me about yourself, your education background, and your current role in your organization? And
Yes, Krati. Uh, First, thanks for this wonderful opportunity. There, I have done manual testing, database testing using MySQL, and API testing using Postman tool. I am also well aware about automation testing. And in manual testing, my role and as a QA analyst, my responsibilities include requirement analysis, identifying test scenarios, designing test cases, executing them, reporting bugs. We used Jira tool for reporting bugs, and test as a test case template we used only Excel. And I have done API testing using Postman tool also, and throughout my career we have used Agile Scrum methodology. So I have attended various meetings also, and like I have worked on two domains. Like if first one is investment banking domain, and currently I'm working in a e-commerce domain. So that's it, Krati.
okay, what is agile methodology?
So, agile methodology is one of the develop software development methodology in which it has certain advantages over other methodologies like waterfall methodology and V model. And those advantages include we can accept change request at any point of time, and it's like based upon incremental and like incremental development, breaking requirements into pieces, and we develop incrementally, and parallelly we developed a test, and it be like agile methodology believes in quick design, quick delivering. So that's it, Krati.
Okay. Um, can you explain the different type of agile process model?
I am aware about a scrum methodology,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a kanban
Okay,
also.
so what is this? Okay, okay,
Can I
okay.
ask a little bit like what are you asking specifically?
No, no issues. Can you explain the sprint life cycle and uh, how I mean in your organization or in your project
Yeah, yeah.
the sprint
Yeah,
yeah.
basically how I am working with agile methodology, so that so first requirement
Yeah, and what is the duration also?
our sprint duration is like like 2 week to 3 weeks, so that first
Hmm.
as a tester we get we get user story from developers on the scrum board, and whenever that I first we first check that that story is done in a done state, so that after done state I take that user story, after like scrum our scrum master will distribute that user story, then we do like add a task on that, and we do requirement analysis, and after that we design test cases. Whatever the test cases we read writes into the Excel sheet, and after that we execute them. If there is a bug, then we report it into the Jira tool by raising issue and by selecting issue type as a bug, and if that bug then bug that bug goes through the whole bug life cycle of agile methodology, and after that, after resolving that bug by developer, I will retest it, and regression also there. And while testing, we do functional testing, various types of functional testing, and also we check negative scenarios and positive scenarios also. And after that, if that bug deployed that build into the after UAT, we deployed that build into the uh, mm, g- uh, like mm, in after UAT, it we deployed that build into the customer environment. In While writing test cases, we also review it, we have a colleague review inspection is there, and after reviewing only we and also after all that happens, after at the end, our scrum we send that document, test case document, to the our lead, and our lead puts into the Jira tool. If we have to track any sprint, so we track through the Jira tool itself. So that this is basically how we worked in agile methodology and throughout the 2 week sprint.
Okay. So what is the difference between regression and retesting?
So that the basic difference between retesting and regression testing is that whenever we get a build from developer after like resolving the defect, we retest it, we check only that module whichever affected by that defect, and we validate the result. But whenever we do regression testing, we do retesting also, and after that we check all 5 to 6 other modules also, for sorry, we check all other modules also which are get affected by that defect also. So that in regression, and so whenever we get a change request, or whenever we get a build from developer after resolving defect, we do retesting. But regression testing, we frequently after change request also, after modification updation also, we do full regression at the end. So that this is the basic difference between retesting and regression testing.
Okay. So who will decide the acceptance criteria in your sprint and in your ticket?
So product owner only decides the acceptance criteria, whatever there is. And sometimes also they get senior our project scrum master, our project test lead, and product owner, they only decide the acceptance criteria, particular.
Apart from product manager and apart from test lead,
Also stakeholder is sometimes involved in there,
apart from stakeholders, anyone else in the team can who will decide the acceptance criteria?
or developers.
Okay, okay. So you mentioned that you have worked on e-commerce domain, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Mhm. Can you explain your project related with the e-commerce or maybe application? What is basically what basically it is?
Okay, so that our project, our domain is e-commerce. Basically, our client is from USA. Name is MedCompass. So that MedCompass is basically involved into compliance of OSHA guidelines of USA government. So that in our web-based application and website, we have various tests are there. So that whenever companies managers our basically target customers are various companies and factories who are who wants to test their employees health. So that we have a two section in our website. First one is a OSHA guidelines, and second one is a fire department. And in both user where when user enters the website, he can various tests are there, like visibility, hearing, like all the healthcare tests are there. And with the help of checkboxes he has to select all whatever the test he has to done, and after that he can request a code from our side. And then after requesting code, basically our service is mobile also, so that we like after our client goes to their place, and they completed all the procedures, and after that uh, so whatever the data they are putting into the website, like their employees medical history, number of employees, various information about their employees, and age is also a factor, so that all the data we have to check from backend also. So there we do we have MySQL gets into picture. And after completing all the procedure, user has to give feedback. So this is basically the flow of our e-commerce application.
So it is web application or mobile application or both?
It's basically we are working on web application.
Okay, have we worked on mobile application?
Not yet, but I am aware about that APM tool is used for that. But if company gives me chance, I'll happily do that. But I haven't do that yet. Mobile application testing.
Do you know the latest version of Android and iOS?
We are basically late, because I haven't worked on Android, so that I can tell. Windows we are working basically we for cross browser testing. We used a Lambda test, and there the versions are there. So we used various browsers, and their various resolutions, and also various operating systems are there, including Windows 11, Windows 7, 8. Yeah,
No, no,
8.1.
no. I'm talking about. Do you know the latest version of Android
No.
or iOS?
No, like
No.
I am not aware about that.
Okay, no issues. Does your application involve payment gateway?
Yeah.
Okay. So, can you explain or give me the five basic approaches to test the payment gateway?
So first, that payment gateway, there are two types of payment gateways, like shared payment gateway and hosted payment gateway. So that what in shared payment gateway, what happens that it is one is like hosted by website itself, and one is we have to navigate to another website. So that to test the payment gateway, first uh, UI testing, like GUI testing is there, so that we have to check all the options, all the text boxes are enabled or not, whatever the payment options are there, like credit card, debit card, and so that we have to check that all the options are correct or not. Then we also ensure that all the data is encrypted or not through SSL layer, secure socket layer. And also that all the payment options are correctly working or not. For if we take like credit cards, so that we have to test with the dummy data, all the credit cards are working there or not. Like we can there test with positive scenarios and negative scenarios by putting valid data and invalid data. And also so that we have like Mastercard, Discover, Visa, all the credit cards are there, we have to take that. And also if we are working on a payment gateway, then we also know how process is going on backend also, so that we can test that payment gateway.
Okay. Suppose a new payment method is getting involved in your application.
Okay.
So how will you test it? What are the approaches? What are the scenarios, test cases you will consider to test?
Okay, first it should be after getting built, it should be tested for integration testing, whether that it is integrated properly to our website or not, whether that after clicking the payment proceed to checkout, we like user should navigate it to that payment gateway only, and after that particularly though the payment method which we are including, that payment method we first I'll verify that all the UI options are like all the GUI testing is there, like all the drop downs and all the company logo CVV boxes all are working or not. After that uh, if that user is not logged in into the system, then after while proceed to checkout, it should like pop up there to log in to that user. And also that particularly by while testing like payment method, I'll check by putting all the valid data and proceed to check out, and by clicking on submit button, I'll check whether that payment like all the data is encrypted or not in the security aspect. And after that after all the putting valid data, it should process is done correctly or not, or in any product we have to buy, that product should be buy, and we have to get an email of that product is we bought successfully. And after that for the negative scenarios, like I will check for the invalid data, and also those are the necessary fields. I will left one or two fields blank, and will check for negative testing also, whether that like it and after clicking on submit, there should be a warning message should be there that mm, to check the like usability of that application. And also that I'll check for session recovery also. uh, if by putting all the information and putting that system sometimes idle, like it should like log out, because for the security aspect, or it should not proceed further with system keeping idle some time. So that I'll check for that also. And also by various by putting all the valid details and some or two or three invalid details, I will check for that it should not buy. And by putting only mandatory aspects, I will check for whether it is buying that product or not. And that's it, Krati. I'll check overall that
Okay, so will you test that previously working payment methods are working fine or not? Does it affect your previously fine working
yeah,
payment
yeah,
method?
in after checking that only, I'll check
Mm-hmm.
all the other methods also, whether it is affected or not. And yeah, that's it comes into the like regression. I'll check that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and also by uh, on and off the internet, will you check it that by doing on and off the internet that
uh,
payment get stuck, or suppose a payment is done by the customer but it is not received by your application side, then what will you
yeah,
do?
yeah, these are the some of the important scenario I'll check for. Yeah, by pagination is there, so that by clicking on and off internet, I'll check if by the offline it should not payment should not done. And
Mm-hmm.
on on the like online also, if the data is invalid, or customers like name
Yeah,
or
yeah. No, no. I'm giving you a
yeah, yeah,
scenario.
more scenario.
Suppose
Okay, okay.
suppose
Yeah,
customer has done the payment, but
okay.
and it is it gets successful from customer end, but it is not received by the application side, or by the ADM maybe side, then what will you do in that case? How will you verify that it is not received by the application side? Then what will you do?
Okay, so that in that scenario, basically we have to check first by the customer end, like all the information is correctly, and if payment has done, then it must be like all the information is mentioned by uh, him, it's correctly mentioned. And after that we have to check on the application side, whether that like root cause is like where, or um, that in the like on the client side also it get confirmation. I'll check that if customers is getting that confirmation message or not. And also that for the opposite side, on the client side also, if that confirmation message is getting or not. If that side is not getting, then payment is stuck between no, something between there. uh, so that I'll check for that payment process. Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard about severity and priority?
Yes.
How do they relate to each other?
So that basically priority is nothing but how soon we should resolve that defect, and severity is nothing but uh, severity is nothing but like how much it is impacting that functionality. So both are goes hand in hand. And sometimes there is a high priority low severity, or sometimes low severity high priority. So, should I give example of that?
Yeah, can you give me the five high priority and high severity scenarios of
Econ.
ATM machine?
Okay, so that first one, if I'll verify that if user is like inserting card into the ATM machine, and if so that first electricity should be there. So it is a very important scenario for that. Suppose we after that, if a user is inserting a card into that, if it is not working, if it gets blocked or screen gets blackout, then it is also high priority high severity scenario. And after that, putting all the after inserting card, it gets successful. Then after putting all the valid information like password and all the selecting accounts like saving account, current, after correctly identifying all the information, if money is not deducted, then also it is high priority high severity. And also if like uh, by by selecting, by putting all the valid information, but only single information is not correct, like saving account, we can exchange it with current account. And so that money should not deduct from that. And uh, message should be there. And after that uh, and high priority high severity in the case of that S1 P1, like also if we mention the quantity like money of like 10,000 rupees, then all the notes available should be in the like ATM machine. So this is could be the high priority high severity. And also if we by putting all the valid info,
What does it mean? What does it mean that money should be in the ATM machine?
like all the notes, like if any user if he wants to get a 10,000, and if he's selecting like 1,000 rupee note, like 500 rupee note or 2,000 rupee note, then that all the notes should be available into that ATM machine. And also that if we
In that case, it will give an alert that the 2,500 rupee note is not currently not available at the moment. So this is, I mean, this is not the real case happens generally. Can you give me other example, um, like something like other, I mean, other example of high priority
yeah,
that
in
mhm.
like in e-commerce, like only ATM machine, or can I give examples of like e-commerce
No, no,
website?
ATM only.
Okay, okay. Like only high priority, high severity scenarios.
Yeah.
Okay. uh, so that after mm, e- inserting into like after inserting the ATM into the machine, by putting all the valid information, still money is not getting correctly. Like if you mention 10,000, we getting 5,000, then this could be the high priority, high severity scenario.
Does it, Shubham, does it happens with you or
No, no,
someone that,
it doesn't happen, but sometimes we see on like it can happen into the, like in e-commerce application, sometimes it happens like we select the quantity and it gets reflected other quantity also, or other product data is missing or something. So that this is like just imaginary scenario I'm getting.
okay, so just give me five basic scenarios that you will need to test the e-com application, that this should be the mandatory one uh, for testing the e-com application.
Okay, so that after like first it should be navigation. All the navigation tabs are first navigation tabs are working also, and they should get to correct URL. So that if we click on one URL, then it like one product, then it should navigate it to only that product description page of that product only. So for I this first one, then like second one, we can set that there is a search like drop down categories, filters, so that this should work correctly to test that because all the businesses like it depends on the how that comfortable that system is behaving. So that this could be one of the important scenario. After clicking on the product, and with the product description page, all the there should be add to the cart option should be there. And if like so that add to the cart functionality is also very important, like to check. And after there should be all the sizes and all the product description correctly should be correctly mentioned. So and all the images clearly visible, and all the from all angles images of the that product should be there. And after clicking onto the buy option, after that there is a address field also, so that it is very important for the delivery also. So that address, if user mention that address correctly, then it should accepted by system correctly also. And also payment methods, all the payment methods are working and or not, we should check that also, because all the payment methods it is also important. And for overall website, we can say that for the cross browser testing it is also important, because all the users are, we can't like say that all the users are using different devices and
Okay,
applications.
so who will decide that this should be worked on this browser and this should not work on this browser? This browser is mandatory or it should be available for this version. Who will decide in your project?
I think a developer will decide that, because in my organization whenever we do cross browser testing, and
Mhm.
also so that we get that selected browsers that you should check on that. So I check on Chrome, Firefox, and Safari.
So this requirement is
I
not coming from your client end or from customer end that I need my application to be run on this particular browser with this version or
yeah, yeah,
with
stakeholder.
this.
But at our like stakeholders only give that in the requirement document itself. But
Mm-hmm.
from our end I'm telling that mm, so that the basically it comes from only stakeholders only.
Okay, okay. Can you give me the five negative scenarios of search box? You do e-com domain
Yeah,
testing, right?
yeah, yeah.
For you can take any example for maybe for Amazon, for Flipkart, or
Okay, okay,
whatever the application you want to take. Just give me the five negative scenarios for search boxes.
okay. uh, so that like we after writing the name into the if any we involve clothes, so that
Uh, okay, leave that.
uh,
Um, suppose you are testing an application,
okay,
okay, and it will going to release on Friday only,
okay,
okay,
yeah,
and testing is going on, and you will find bug which are critical,
okay.
but your manager want to release it on Friday only
Okay.
with complete testing. What will you do?
And how many days available, like to
Suppose today is
Friday? Hello, 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 Krati.
Wednesday.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it's Wednesday. So I have we have available with Wednesday, Thursday only. So
Mm-hmm.
two days or one day is there. So that
Yeah.
if there is a critical bug, it happens sometimes. So if that functionality is searchable within 2 days, by putting all the efforts and all the machinery, with the help like late nights, if it is it can we can do it, then we have to do it, because if release is there. And but it is not like good to release with that critical bug, uh, so that if it doesn't doable, if there is a more if developers are taking much time to that resolve the bug, and uh, also we get very less time to the testing. And in the first scenario we can test, we can do sanity there, or by checking all the important functionalities, and whether and regression also, that whether all the affecting functionalities are working or not. If that are working finely, then we can release it. But if that it is not working finely, and all the test cases are not get resolved, by the like priority we can decide the how many test cases we have to uh, execute. So that if all the high priority test cases and medium priority test cases, if we able to execute by taking late nights also, and like by taking working with extra time basically, so we can release it. But if that doesn't
And
happen.
what if
Okay, I'm not be able to hear you, Krati. Hello. Hello. Hello.
uh,
Hello.
and what if today is Friday and today only you talk about
Krati, I'm not be able to hear you. Hello.
hello,
Hello.
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 Yeah, actually my internet. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you can turn off your camera, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Shubham. Um, I'm done with my end. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, like if like I get selected, then basically is role my role is going to be same or something different?